following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Viewpoint on 96.3 FM. And today we have two wonderful guests that came out to the Radio Ranch. Pastor Larry Crawford, Open Arms Church, and his assistant Molly. Thank you and welcome. And folks, Molly is wanting to answer all your calls.
Absolutely.
Answers.
Call in.
Call in all your questions. So 217-648-5510. So welcome both of you. Thank you for coming here. So.
Well, thank you so much for having us. It's an honor to be with you this morning.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. So Open Arms. Wow, as many of you know, you guys are out there on the campus of Lincoln Christian University, and but you didn't start there. You had some humble beginnings, and where did you guys start?
Yeah, we started in a home in Chesterville, which is part of Lincoln, Chesterville Township. Actually, my wife Wendy and I and another couple, Kevin and Charlene Wolf, we planted in their home. Some of you may know it as the old Gilball home, the A-frame home in Chesterville there. And it started, our first Sunday was April 8th of 2007.
Oh, wow.
17 years ago.
From there, where did you go from there? Where did you move to after the house?
So we were there and grew till a little over 50. Then we moved to Bill Gossett's Dry Cleaners. Love Bill. Bill, if you're watching, we love you, man. You are awesome. And we were there from 2008 till 2015. Bill kept telling me, we went to 2 services. Now, we really only had 4 parking spaces because of the 4 up front. So we used the Methodist, the OGTE, Fricky Calvert Schrader, and downtown everywhere. But Bill told me, you're doing great, keep growing, but don't outgrow my building. Well, we went to 2 services, and then we had to move.
You had to move.
Yeah. Sorry, Bill.
From there, then, is that when you guys went downtown to the shopping plaza there?
Yeah, that's what we went to on Woodlawn, to what was originally the Family Dollar, which I guess has been a lot of things over the years. But we went into there, and so we went from 4,700 square feet to 11,777 square feet. And it was just wide open. And we walked in, and I'm like, do you see the vision? My wife, couple of leaders, and Wendy's like, all I see is rat poop and trash. I don't see because there's stuff all over the floor, right? And but I said, the sanctuary here, the nursery there, the kids are the kitchen there, and just began to cast the vision. And I got a guy to draw it up for me, and I got a guy that's a friend of ours and part of the church to frame it up for us. And then we started putting drywall up and HVAC and electrical and just redid the whole thing, and it became a great place for us. And that's actually where Nico and Molly started coming to church.
Neat.
Well, for family fun. You can tell that story, though. Go ahead.
So Nico and I, we took our 2 girls to Family Fun Day. And then we saw Pastor Larry preach that evening, and we were like, oh, cool, we can, we'll try it out. And so we went the following Sunday, and then we just continued to come. We loved it so much. And then we've just been there ever since.
Wonderful. When did you come on then as administrative assistant then to Larry then?
So that was in 2016.
Wonderful. And then your vision kept growing, as you could say. You guys kept growing the church and busting at the seams, if you may, and so how did it come about to move out on Route 10 out there, at the university?
Yeah, it's a great question. We were praying because we were at 2 services at Woodlawn, and people were coming in and out, and parking spaces even there we didn't have spaces for people, and so we were just praying, and I said, Lord, we need to accelerate the process. Little did I know what that would end up meaning and what God would do. But one Saturday we were out at a leadership thing, my son and I, out at the university. We always went to those, and felt the Lord say, speak to me to go talk to Silas, the president, about renting the facility. And so I went up that day, and he said, can we talk later this week? Well, I didn't know what was going on in the plans of Lincoln Christian University. And so we set an appointment for Thursday. Well, then the announcement came out Tuesday that they were going to restructure, and they didn't know what that was going to look like. Mm-hmm. So when he walked in on Thursday, I'm like, I'm sorry, I had no idea. Yeah. And he's like, well, I know you didn't have any idea. And so then we started talking about it. And even then, it looked like it was impossible because it was such a big thing. And, financially, how were we going to move from a storefront to a campus? And so that's when I said, well, what if we could purchase half the campus, which was still crazy? Could you stay on the other half? And that was the goal, and that's what we were able to do initially for us and for them.
And then from there, didn't you just sign then on the remaining campus then here lately too?
Yeah, so we did. So we first entered into a lease to purchase on the 60-acre 6 buildings, and we went in there, and then a year later, of course, things were going on at the university where they were making a transition again. And we needed a kitchen, and so it worked out miraculously because we love to feed the community. We love to give an opportunity to minister to people, whether it's through the Thanksgiving dinner or funeral dinners or whatever it may be. And so it opened up for us to purchase the other 40 acres and 5 buildings. And so now we're setting, went from the storefront to 100 acres and 11 buildings.
Wow.
When you pray for God to accelerate something, that's an acceleration.
That is. And you went from just 4 of you to now how many do you have in your congregation, around about?
So on our shepherding list, which is people that come on a consistent basis, we have 575 people. We're averaging in the 4s. We're into the 5 some. For Easter, we almost hit 700 people.
Wow. Good for
But it's
you.
big enough we're still one service because we can seat 1,123 people in that auditorium. Yes.
So that's wonderful. So you mentioned, you guys you do have a kitchen now, because last year, some people remember you had Bear Man there.
Yes.
And now this year you have the kitchen. You're going to have a Thanksgiving Day dinner there.
Our goal is to have our annual community Thanksgiving meal, which we serve anywhere from 700 to 1,200 people. If we're able to get things in place by then, which is the plan, we will be able to actually seat at one setting. One setting will be able to seat 660 plus people,
Wow.
which is amazing.
Yeah.
Because before we did it over 3-4 hours?
Yeah.
And kind of can streamline it now and make it,
Well, now we can have more because we
More
invite the whole community. The goal of that is not just to give a meal to someone that needs it. The goal is to bring the community together. One of our hashtags that we're big about is hashtag for Lincoln. We want to see Lincoln prosper. We want to see it grow. We know there's a lot going on. We're not denying what's going on. We just believe that the best days of Lincoln can be ahead. It's how we look at it and how we move forward. And so we want to help see that happen. And so everything we're doing on the campus, even we had the Fellowship of Christian Athletes leaders there. We just had the work camp there. Heather at Flossie's was able to cater that. I know that some of our other restaurants were able to cater into that. Everything we're doing there and the plans and the vision that we have, some we can share today, some we can't share yet today, will boost the economy in Lincoln and Logan County and Central Illinois. And we're all about that. We want to see it grow and increase.
That's wonderful. Wonderful. You guys do have Celebrate Recovery Group. Let our listeners know a little bit more about that then, if they don't know about Celebrate.
Why don't you share a little bit about that?
Sure. So Celebrate Recovery, they meet every Thursday. They have a dinner starting at 5 o'clock, and then they have their open session at 6. And most people think about Celebrate Recovery as only for people that struggle with addictions or like drugs and alcohol and things like that. But it's actually for anybody that has issues with eating or depression or anxiety. It's all, what is the slogan?
It's anybody that has a habit, a hang up, or a hurt.
Yes.
To help them.
Yeah. And so there's, we got some strong leaders in there that really like to walk alongside people and help them to, overcome things like that.
That's a great point, because it's not just the meeting. They're going to walk alongside you every day. If you need something, there's people available. We want to help people become who they were created to be.
Yeah, because they're not there just on Thursdays. They make themselves available throughout the week, anytime they need them.
Wonderful.
So
people want to know more information about that. Do they call you, Molly? Or
Yep. They can just call the church.
Okay.
Molly has all the answers.
No, not necessarily.
Most of them, right? Or we can find the answer. How
Or we
about
can
that?
find the answer.
We can
Yeah,
find
that's
the answer,
good.
yes.
That's good.
Wonderful. What other things you have going on right now for the community to bring them in and offer them? Do you have going on?
Okay, we have a big sports ministry. We've actually had that all the way back when we were at Goss's Dry Cleaners. We used to rent the YMCA, and then we rented the Baptist gymnasium. Well, now we have a full-blown gymnasium and a field house. And so we have an open arms men's sports basketball league that meets in the fall and the winter, and there are 8 teams that'll play 5-on-5. It's huge. You can come watch it. We have people that just come and enjoy watching it. And, of course, people that are playing. We have pickleball. Everybody told me we need a pickleball. And I'm like, who plays pickleball? Evidently every generation plays pickleball, right?
Plays that.
And so we've got pickleball, and we offer different seasons. We got soccer in the field house. We've had volleyball. We have softball. And so all those things, and we've got plans to expand all of those sports ministries when it comes to kids, to all ages. And so it's pretty exciting, because now we have the facility where we can actually expand that.
And then you're also adding this fall that we were talking about. What do you want to share with our listeners for?
Go ahead.
No, it's about the football.
About the football?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I was going to let you share.
No, you love it. You
I
love
went into
it
a
so
staff
much.
meeting. No kidding. I went into a staff meeting and I said, we're going to have high school football on the campus. And they looked at me like they normally do when I cast one of these crazy ideas. Kind of like they looked at you earlier when you said
When I
something
said
there.
my
You know,
crazy idea,
right? I
yeah.
know. And so, and then just a couple days later, I get an email from a gentleman that's coaching high school football from CLA, Christian Life Academy in Hopedale, and said, hey, Larry, is there any way that we could host our home football games on your campus? I'm like, there it is. And so we met, and that's happening in August. There'll be football. It won't be Friday night lights because it's not on Friday and we don't have lights yet, but it'll be on Saturday. And so there's going to be football games. You can come and watch, bring your family out. Again, it's going to bring revenue into our city. It's going to bring people from out of town into Lincoln so they can see how great Lincoln is, and they'll be able to experience the businesses and things that are going on.
That is awesome.
Yeah, we're excited about that.
That is great. That is. So, from there, what do you guys envision that you can share with our listeners moving forward with the mission of the church and the campus in full too?
Okay, there's a lot of things. There's things we can share, things we can't. What we can share is the warehouse. If you guys remember, LCU had the warehouse, the coffee shop, and you could go in there, and maybe you went in there. We used to go in there and meet with people and things, and meet with students, meet with other people. We're opening that back up, and so we're gonna have a coffee shop in there, and I'm getting help from Ethan, my good buddy at Guest House, and how to make that happen, and make that a youth student center where they'll be able to come, a safe place for kids to come. There'll be games, there'll be big screen televisions. We'll do some concerts in there and some things on a different scale, and there'll be all these activities. But also adults will be able to meet in there as well during the day if they want to come together, have a meeting, have a study, do whatever. They'll be able to come in there, and then we'll open up the coffee shop once we get it going to people to come from the community, and that'll be a great asset as well. Some of the other things we're looking at is Ruth Hall. You can explain a little bit about Ruth Hall. How about that?
Good.
At the conferences and
Okay.
camps.
So, recently we just hosted the Work Camp for Lincoln where we had 250
Yes.
students and sponsors.
On the campus.
Yeah, on the campus. And so that was really cool to see that it was alive again. But Ruth Hall, it has a lot of rooms. 144. And on the first floor, the plan is to move one of the wings and have suites in there for pastors that just need to refresh.
Missionaries.
Yep, for people to just come in and relax and just, just spend time with the Lord and,
Need to
kind of get away from
recharge
everything.
or
Yeah,
something.
Like if they need
recharge.
somewhere to go and they can come in and stay, just stay as long as you want. We're here to help you if you just want to stay and hang out and rest and get, ready to go again, then you can do that. Just a place they can go, not have to worry about finances.
Neat.
Yeah.
Neat.
And then camps. We, if you remember, years ago, LCU hosted a lot of camps. My kids used to go to them, basketball camp, volleyball camp. And we're working with FCA, Fellowship Christian Athletes. As a matter of fact, our youth pastor, Thor, that we recently hired, is going to be the regional guy and is already working with the coaches at Lincoln Community High School to get the FCA huddle going again there. And also to be able to offer camps on the campus. And we'll be able to offer different sports camps. And so we'll work with FCA on that. We'll work with Kingdom Sports. I've talked to Coach Alexander, others that, we just want to see, the community flourish. And God's given us the space to steward, and we want to steward it well. And so that's an opportunity. Ruth Hall is, they used to call it the LCU Holiday Inn, so I guess we call it the Open Arms Holiday Inn now. But it is very nice. Listen, much nicer than the hole that I lived in, Timothy. The hole was a good term, not a bad term, but it was called the hole that I lived in that they just recently tore down, the school did, before we purchased. But amazing dorm, and possibilities are endless of retreats and things that can be hosted right there, and conferences. One thing we should talk about is the sound system.
Yeah, we did. We just got our new sound system, which will go live on
This Sunday.
this Sunday. Yeah, we're so excited about it.
It is a state-of-the-art sound. So ever since I went to school there, it's hard to hear in different parts of the auditorium if you've ever been there for something. This sound system, oh my goodness. We spent a lot of money on it, but wherever you're sitting, it is crisp, it is clear, and you can crank it up and it won't hurt your ears. We're going to have concerts in there. We're looking big venues. So we got 1,123 seats. We're talking about bringing big venues into Lincoln, which will, again, boost the economy, bring people into our community, help them see how great a place it is to live, to have a business. And so that's going to be going on. So we're looking to get our first one. We thought we had it last year even before the sound system, and it ended up not working out. But now that we got the sound system, it'll be a plug and play for people coming in that are doing concerts. We're looking at conferences that will help people. We did the Live to Lead last year.
Right.
Or no, that was this year, actually, wasn't it? Live to
It
Lead
was this year, yeah.
We did that this year, and we're going to do it again this year, which is the one for this year and next year. And so that's coming up in November. And that's just a leadership thing that helps business owners. Last year we had 61 business owners from our community that came to it.
Really?
And so this year we're believing that's going to increase.
Wonderful.
And just, again, to pour into our community. We have a thing we say, this city will live. And so you can help us push that out there. Hashtag this city will live. There's a lot of people that are negative about what's going on. And I'm not denying what's going on.
Right.
I'm just not going to let it control how I think and how I look. And God didn't put this campus in front of us for things just to fall.
Yeah.
This city will live.
Yeah.
But we've got to walk it out. We've got to speak it, and we've got to walk it out.
Well, and
So
the
that's what we're
community
doing.
has to come together and work together with it too. It's
Absolutely.
not just one entity or one business,
Right.
or one church,
Yes,
whatever
that's
one.
correct.
It's it's everyone.
Yes.
It really, really is to
And
work together.
that's the focus of the community Thanksgiving dinner, bring the whole community together. That's the focus of Family Fun Day that we started, right after the first year of the church, to bring everybody together. All these things. We're hosting the balloons over in Lincoln this year too. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, Seth. I remember Seth talking about that with me. So
Yeah.
you're going to have the balloons out
We're
there.
going to have the balloon glow out there, 32 balloons on the campus, all in one location. That's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And they're going to also, land there? They're going to put a target out there?
Yeah. I don't really understand the Target situation, but it sounds like it's going to be fun. So
Obviously, you can see we're going to learn, right?
we are going to learn.
It's our first year. We're going to learn how this works. Every year
You just need to watch them fly over.
Yeah.
And they drop the bag on the target.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, you know what's going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
We're learning, but we're excited about this and then the future, seeing it expand.
Right.
No, that's wonderful. But if we want to take a commercial break, we'll come back. And folks, Molly does want to talk to you. 217-648-5510. We'll be back shortly.
Brian Clark State Farm offers a range of insurance products to fit your unique needs and give you a peace of mind. Our dedicated team helps you find the perfect policy to safeguard your biggest investments. Brian Clark State Farm can steer you in the right direction on auto insurance, and we've got your home covered from natural disasters to unexpected accidents. Contact me, State Farm Agent Brian Clark, at 217-732-6211 or visit sfinsurelincoln.com. Go Railers!
Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln.
Welcome back to Viewpoint on 96.3 FM, WLCN. We have Pastor Larry Crawford and Molly with us from Open Arms Church. And again, folks, if you got any questions of what's going on at Open Arms or any kudoses you want to give to them, feel free to call in 217-648-5510. Off the air, we were talking about people's mindsets and how we need to get past the negativity.
Yes.
What, as business owners, we've visited about this, and I think small changes are good in trying to turn around the mentality of our community. Do you agree with that, or where do you want to see the vision for the community? We've kind of touched base on it lightly, but
yes.
What do you think?
No, that's a great question. We do want to see things turn around, and I believe things will turn around. I often will say the best is yet to come, and I know some people look at that and they say, well, this is how it was, look how it is now. And I'm like, I understand how it was, I understand how it is now, but I want you to look at what it can be.
Right.
Let's take a look at what it can be. Look at this positive thing that's happening here. Look at this. Look at what can happen. I'd mentioned, as we were talking off the air, last time I researched it, there's 1.2 million people in a 60-mile radius. Lincoln is a hub for every city around. We have an opportunity to really have an impact and make a difference in not only just central Illinois, but even beyond that, in the Midwest and beyond, in our region, by just making positive changes in our city. And so we're sharing a little bit of the vision here about what's going on the campus. I was able to meet with the mayor, Tracy Welch, which I really appreciated, to be able to share even this part and even more of the vision of what we want to see come to Lincoln on the campus. 100 acres, 11 buildings, that's a lot. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of opportunity. Right. We want to get the right things in place that can help our community. And so I believe that the best days are ahead, but it's how we look at it. Mm-hmm. We have to change the mindset and look at a mindset that says, okay, this is what it is, but this is what it can be. Let's cast the vision, kind of like what you were doing a little bit earlier, casting vision for something bigger, something different, something more.
Right. Because I know we all took a pause when we heard that the university was, changing how they were doing things, their direction, and there was not going to be, students on the campus. And we should not, like you said, go down that rabbit hole, but we all did. We don't want it to turn into LDC.
Right.
The eyesore there. However, it was like a breath of fresh air when the announcement came from Open Arms, I don't know if it was weeks, days, or what, that you're envisioning, you're approaching, you're working on this. And it was like, oh, finally, it's something is going to be utilized, kept up. So kudos to all of you,
Hey, listen, it's all of our people. I mean, we've got guys that mow the grass. That's a lot of grass to mow. People used to, when we came into it, they're like, you got a lot of grass to mow. How you going to mow the grass? How you going to pay the heat bill? How you going to do this? How you going to do that? I'm like, easy.
We know.
We know it's here, right? But God is taking care of it because we have such amazing people in our community at Open Arms that are just phenomenal. We've got people out there spending hours a day landscaping. I mean, they've landscaped that campus like it hasn't been for a minute, and mowing and serving and cleaning and prepping and all these things that are going on. It's our people, right? I mean, speak a little bit on that, because Molly talks to her, people call her all the time for stuff, so talk a minute about that.
We have a really good volunteer base. We have specifically Justin Overby, name dropping him.
He's going to love we dropped his name.
He has really just kind of taken the initiative to put a team together to be able to mow the grass. So we don't pay to mow the grass. We actually just have it all done by volunteers. And then inside as well, we just had a Ruth Hall cleanup day. We had so many people show up for that, just ready and willing to labor.
Well, Henderson getting the banquet center ready for the work camp.
Yep. Yeah, we spent multiple hours cleaning that, and we didn't hear any complaints from any of our volunteers. It was all like, we're so excited to be here, and we're excited to see what God does here, and in the kitchen and on the campus. And so we're just really thankful for the volunteers that we have.
And that's the culture of Open Arms. We hashtag You Matter here. We want to be a church that unchurched people love to attend. We want to be a church that people have been hurt in the church, by the church, come and get healed and are able to serve and become who God created them to be. We want to be a church that all people want to come to and just be loved on. And when they come there, they'll feel like they're at home. Yeah. And so it's pretty exciting to see what people are doing and how people serve.
Yeah. And that's the way it should be.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it really is.
Can I give a shout out to
you sure can.
President Silas McCormick and Lincoln Christian University. They've been amazing to work with. I went to school there, did my undergrad and graduate there, but this whole process, and I will tell you, this is exciting. I don't know if you know this, but Lincoln Christian Institute is continuing. Yes. And they're on our campus in the chapel. They actually lease offices from us. And so that's continuing on, and they're offering programs and retreats to the community and to our region and beyond, to whoever that can come in and get an education and get equipped. It's not accredited, but it will help, in other words, equip us to be better as leaders in our home, in our businesses, wherever it is. And so that's going on. So check out their website. I think they just got it up. You can probably put it in Lincoln Christian University and still get to it, but it's Lincoln Christian Institute. And they're doing an amazing job. And then we're also partnering President Matt Proctor from Ozark Christian College, who's taken the Lincoln Seminary there, met with me this last week in my office, and we're working with them as well with what's going on with students there. And so, again, exciting things are happening.
Things just change, and people need to kind of roll with it. And when a door closes, God opens a window or even another door. So
people don't like change sometimes, but in order to get to better, we have to walk through some change. And if we'll give it a chance and walk it through, sometimes we'll be like, wow, look at this.
Do you have any questions for them?
Well, you had mentioned not focusing on the negativity, looking at how things could be and opportunities and things. The elephant in the room we haven't really spoken of specifically is the potential closure of Logan Correctional Center. Have you or has the church made any efforts to try and help those folks out, or how, kind of put a positive spin on things and to help the mindset of those folks who are going through that?
Yes, that's a great question, and we are fully supportive in fighting for Logan Correctional to stay. As a matter of fact, do you remember how many years ago was it that they actually had the meeting on the campus of what was then Lincoln Christian University in the chapel? Do you remember that? I was actually on the stage as one of the pastors fighting for it to stay, and the meeting we just had at the junior high, I was there for that, and it was done very well. Our people spoke well. I initially thought about putting in to speak, but there were so many people that were in a better position to be able to speak about, that we're in it day in and day out. But yeah, we're very supportive. It's a prayer matter every day that we're praying over, but also speaking to our senator, to our representatives, and saying this is the place it needs to be. It needs to be here. Whether you're going to renovate it or whether you're going to rebuild it, it needs to be here in Lincoln. And so yeah, we also have several in our church that actually work at the correctional center, and so they're able to keep me abreast with what's going on too. And we're just fighting for it to stay, and for other businesses to come in and grow in Lincoln. That's a great question. Thank you.
Not to put you on a spot, but since you brought up Logan Correctional Facility.
All right, Molly, you got this one?
So anyway, and growing up, the church that I went to, we did have a prison ministry, or we had some members reach out and did go to the prison and offer ministry to the inmates. Is that something in the future there with Open Arms at all, or not, or have you thought about it? Or
yes, ma'am.
And I know I'm not trying to give you any more things to do.
No. We're actually
a lot right now.
We're actually already doing that.
Or you are doing that.
So we already have a couple of our guys that are in under different things, that are into the jail, that are doing ministry, and we've been asked to come into the prisons, and we're trying to get that worked out to where even we could take our Celebrate Recovery, which would be great, into the prisons. But also, we're there to help people that come out of jail and out of prison, and we have several that write us and things like that, and we have guys that write them back, and are in correspondence, but is to bring them out. And some of those folks have already gotten out of jail and have come straight to the Celebrate Recovery ministry. So in other words, to help them get reestablished in society, but also not to go back to what they were into, but to see that they can have a great life and that their life is ahead of them by just making wise choices one at a time. And so already that's happening, but we do want to see that expand, yes, to where we're back into both prisons and we're doing, ministry there. So that's in the process.
Wonderful. That's neat. Molly, what would you like to add? You've been quiet this whole time, this entire time. What would you like to add?
If you don't have a church home, you should come check us out on Sunday. Yeah, we would love to have you.
What time?
At 10 a.m. on Sunday morning.
That's it. Or if they're out of the area, they can join us on YouTube.
They can join us online. Yep.
Online watch.
Our YouTube channel, Facebook, openarmslincoln.com is our website.
Yep.
But you could share just also maybe about stepping into this, because you've walked with it from Woodlawn, and so from that less than 12,000 square foot to a chapel that's 47,000 square foot and all these buildings. How's it been from your perspective?
In the beginning, I feel like we've just been trusting the Lord from the get-go. But obviously in the natural, you look at it and you're like, wow, that's a lot to take over, especially coming from such a small storefront, which seemed really big at the time, but this is so big now. But it's really good, and it's like I said earlier, it's just really neat to see all of our volunteers and all of our people really just being willing to step up and help and walk alongside and take part.
That's wonderful.
Can I share just a quick testimony?
Please,
there's so many testimonies. Like we could literally talk all day. I know we only got a little bit of time.
No, you're fine.
But when we were coming into this, we were looking at how we're going to finance this, and we've always had really good finances. Have an outside firm that does our stuff, all kinds of. But obviously it was a big step. We had never stepped into anything like this before, and so as we're looking at, now we're looking at millions of dollars, and that's from this poor boy from Southern Indiana. That's a different world, right? And so I'm like, okay, Lord, here we go. And so they're looking at, they're saying, well, you probably, the funding institutions are saying you probably need to do like a campaign. And so I'm praying about it, and one day I'm praying, and the Lord said, no, don't do a campaign this time. Just cast the vision, and I'll bring $1 million in within months to put down on the property. I'm like, God, I've never seen $1 million. Like $100,000 was like $1 million in my world, right? And so we just started casting the vision. And you can go back even to that service that we preached and just started casting the vision. And I said, I believe God said he's going to do this. Within 5 months, see, people say the economy's shot, things aren't happening. Within 5 months, $1 million came in that we were able to put down on the property on the first 60 acres and on those first buildings that we purchased.
Good
and so it's just a testimony of God's grace and God's goodness, but also it goes back to people that poured in from the church, that God moved on their hearts, but also people from outside the church, and also people that we minister to all over the world. Because we, one of the things that when we planted the church way back in the home, we planted it based on the Antioch model, which is Acts 13, a local church with global impact. So we've always been involved in local missions, national and international missions. I travel all over the world and host conferences, leadership conferences, in Kenya, Tanzania, in India, in Dominican Republic, Peru, all places, okay? That God just opened the world up to us. And we've taken teams to the Dominican Republic. Molly went this last time, and a whole group of adults and teens. And so we're focused on not only what's going on here, but what's going on globally. And to be able to have the facility we have now we're going to be able to do it all the more effectively. Not just going out, but bringing those people from around the world in for conferences, and then be able to send people back to be able to do what they're called to do.
That's wonderful.
So that's another part of the vision.
That's great. And then, you've been visiting, like you said, you touched base on that, with the mayor,
Yes.
and hopefully city council, I'm not putting them on a spot, but, are seeing and accepting your vision and, trying to, move forward and, and help you guys grow as well. So
Yeah, some of the things that we can't get into in detail, but we have some things that we're looking at doing on the campus that will be available to help parents and with kids, and so those are really exciting things. We just have to walk through the process, and then as we're able to, we'll be able to share that publicly. But it is pretty exciting, and the mayor was very gracious to meet with me and to let me share the vision, and we're going to get together again and share some more, and with city council members and with others, and just to see what can be and what should be and what will be. The city will live, but we've got to walk it out.
Right, and work together.
And work together, yes. That is so critical. If we'll labor together to make it happen. Lincoln is a great place. It's a great place to live. It's a great place to raise a family. It's a great place to own a business. And we just need to get that message out to other people and let them come and experience it.
Well, thank you both so much for coming out here. I greatly appreciate it, and I love following how you guys are growing and your involvement in the community. It is not unnoticed. It is noticed, and it's wonderful. So anyway, Lloyd, do you have anything else? No? Well, folks, the Lord and weather willing, we'll be back again next week on 96.3 WLCN. Thank you for tuning in.
This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, and online at merealty.com. The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.